She was Canadian. She had no.
Punjabi.
Yeah, it's a type of Indian.
Oh, okay.
And she had no accent. She was a very beautiful little girl, and she was in an arranged marriage, and which I found fascinating.
Oh yeah,
And,
very intriguing.
So the first question that I asked her she doesn't have any of these boundaries because she doesn't know any better. So I asked her to come over for supper, right? I mean, she does, and so it's like on the first date, and now that people are knowing who I am, I mean, they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable about coming over to my place for supper, right? And she said, yeah. But then again, I was like, oh, you know what? I need to pull back here, and I need to go meet her first. You know what I mean? Because it's easy for us to make those,
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, how about we meet first for coffee, right? And so we met for coffee, and we went for a walk in the park, and
a little romantic side of yours.
No, it's not. It wasn't romantic. There's bums everywhere, and I had to fight off all the bums, and they're like zombies. You got any change? Change. You got to smoke? Do you have a smoke? No. There, that's better. Yeah. So in that night, before we when we were walking, I told her about the difficulties of dating a single mom, and she was right on board. She's like, yeah, most guys, they don't have the outlook that I have on this, and I understand all the difficulties, and I understand, but she even knows that it's almost impossible to date her because she doesn't have time. So this girl's admitting to me that she doesn't have time to do it, but so I'm thinking, well, what I would say for a single mom is don't have this high expectation that every guy that you have to talk to, that you have to potentially marry this fucking guy. At least give him a chance. Hang on with him over a period of time and let him develop into let it develop into a relationship. Have sex and stuff. But when a girl, this is a major boundary for single moms is that so in order for them to have a good relationship, in order for them to get into a new relationship, they have to get past this one point. You know what point that is, Pam?
No, sure.
That's the Pam. That's not Pam point. I'll give you a point, Pam. Is that they have to get to the point where they feel comfortable enough about asking you to come over to the house. So what? And that's a hump that is almost impossible to get to. Because, in the fact, okay, you got to look at it this way. So this mom, she only gets we get her on a date. She gets out once a week. She's got to get a babysitter. She's got to arrange it. So you'd be lucky to be able to get a girl that has kids out once a week. So how does she think in her head that she's going to find some guy that's willing to start a relationship? And how do you make a relationship? How do you get a relationship started when you can only get out once a week? So how are you going to keep each other's interest over only doing it once a week? So then once a week, and the next week, and the week after that. So so you're telling me that there's people out there that are going to invest in as much time and only meeting once a week, and think that in their mind that over and 3 months is going to go by, and you guys only meet once a week over, and then 3 months comes along, and that's 4, 5, 6, 12, that's 12 meetings, and then when do you get to the point when you get to come to the house? Is it after the third date? Is it after the fourth date? Is it 2 months? Is it 1 month? What's this rule and this hump that these girls always have? I get it. They don't want guys coming in and out of their house, and they seem like a whore or a slut, or
and it's
Susie,
not healthy for the children.
Susie can't remember who. But why isn't it healthy? It's not like. I'm not like the guy's abusive, hopefully not. Not like he's coming there and flipping out or whatever. But mommy's got friends. Mommy's allowed to go out on dates. Mommy's looking for a husband. It's the guy that has to come home has to be the fucking one.
Well, yeah, that's a touchy one for sure.
Does it
especially when the children are there on a full-time basis. Yeah, that's.
Does he have to be the one? Why do you have to?
Well, he at least has to be the one that's going to be around regularly. Yes. If she's going to bring, say it's you and you're dating Susie Q, And she's got small children there, and she's bringing you over, and then she has Ralph over there the next day, and then whoever. It's not a really good, role model for her children.
Well, I mean, there's lots of kids out there that, their moms were promiscuous, and there was lots of guys in and out of their lives. But I mean,
and they probably continue with the toxic relationships too.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, there's guys that come in and out of their lives that were bad guys, and there was guys that came in and out of their lives that they really loved, and they developed a relationship
for
with
sure.
them. But I mean, like, these are these barriers that you get when you date these single moms. Is you can't get them out very often on a fucking date. You'd never be able to get them out twice a fucking week.
But this goes with single dads too.
Well, yeah, I get it, right? But I mean, I still think that guys are a little bit more apt to be able to get out twice a week, even if they had their kids. I mean, like, mothers nowadays, they have this great big fear of asking somebody to watch their kids. I mean, like, back in our day, our parents would put a sweater on a fucking broomstick and propped it up in the corner and told us that was the babysitter, and told us that she's gonna fucking she's watching us and she's sleeping, don't bug her, and they would go out and they would come home. But I mean, I remember, that wasn't a big deal back when we were younger. I mean, like, your friends watched the girl down the street. I mean, if I had my kids and whatever, I would have.
Scotty just really appreciated the babysitter that used to come over.
No. I remember my one babysitter. His name was Rob Turner. Rob, he was a guy that lived down the street. He was my brother's age, and I still remember this day. And I remember I was dressed up as Superman, and he was back in my playroom. He was playing with me, and I remember taking a chair and lifting it up, and I was like, "I'm Superman!" And I crashed that chair over. and years later, Rob was one of my employees, and Rob worked for me, and me and him became very, very close. But we always talked about that time when he babysat me, and then the roles changed, and I became his boss.
I thought you had a girl babysitter too. I thought there was a story that you shared once.
No, I never had any babysitters that were girls.
No,
what was that one?
Maybe you were just role playing.
I don't know. But
either how it is, it's hard for single parents.
If I had kids, I mean, like, I would have a couple numbers there where I could call anytime, and I mean, like, be the girl down the street or whoever. I mean, or another parent that I could watch their kid, and then we could trade off. Like, you watch my kid, but I mean, like, it's almost the end of the world now that when parents have to ask for. I mean, it's parenting has totally changed, and I don't like it.
It comes with financial things too. So when you get a babysitter, you have to pay, to go for a couple hours, and that can get pretty costly as well.
Well, I mean, I get it, and
if they don't have a family member or friend to watch the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Would you be willing to pay half?
Fuck that. I pay for the supper anyways. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I mean, and I have paid for the babysitter. I wouldn't say I've never done it. I have done it. And, but then again, I mean, like, fuck, I got to pay for supper. I got to go drive it. I got to do this. And you know what I mean? Like, I
was just curious.
Yeah. I mean, if she was super hot and I wanted to get her out that night, I would pay for the babysitter. I would.
I know you would.
Okay, so those are, and so that's the biggest hurdle is to get to the girl's house. But I mean, when you get to that when you get to that spot, that's when a girl that has kids, that a relationship's going to take off, because she doesn't have to worry about getting a babysitter, and then you can come over when the kids you can come over after work, and you guys can hang out, and then the kids go to bed, then you guys throw on a movie, and then the next thing you know, you're in the bedroom banging.
But it's like a process, though, too, Scotty, because you can't just talk to someone online, a couple different messages, and be like, oh, we're attracted to each other, I'm coming over tonight. You have to have some sort of process.
Yeah.
Whether it's like messaging or calling for a little bit, meet up for coffee, and you've had, several dates.
So if I take her out, let's say I take her out 3 times, and do you think I'm entitled?
Well, there's no number on it. It depends on the couple.
I mean, is there the 2-month barrier? Do I have to get
no,
it seems like a barrier that it's almost impassable.
No, it's not like an exact, because every couple is different.
Well, this is a major fact though too. Okay, this is something. So we were talking about that, but this is talking about the boundaries when it comes to meeting somebody online, right? It'd be a lot. It's a lot different, and so I'd assume that boundary would be a lot longer, right? Because you don't know this person. But I mean, if you're a single mom and you started to date Jason at work from work, or
why do you have to use my ex's name?
No, it's my brother's name.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason.
Or what? I mean, whatever. So, so if she met somebody, if she started dating somebody that she knew, let's say whether it was your a friend's friend or your girlfriend's friend. Some guy that you met at a party. I mean, like, so
someone you've met face on.
Met face on. I mean,
face to face.
I mean, not even just meet, but I mean, you've developed some kind of relationship over the time, and then it spawned into a crush, and then you guys started to date. All right. So I mean, so this guy at work, you've been working with him for a year, and so you guys go on a date, and you're more apt to you'd be more apt to bring him home a lot sooner than you would be the guy that you met online. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's more of that comfort, safety.
Well, she already knows the guy because she's known him for the last year. Let's say walks to him at work or school, so she's got a pretty good idea that he's a decent guy and that. But I mean, that way it's a lot. That
scenario is a lot different than just meeting someone on a computer.
But then again, we could. I mean, like, why couldn't we just play off the thing that Mommy has a friend and this is her friend Scott, and he's come over tonight to watch a movie and have supper and hang out. Like, does it have to be like? Does she have to paint the picture that I'm a boyfriend or a potential husband or whatever? Like,
no,
can't
not
she
at
say?
all.
Can't she say like this is my friend Scott? And I mean, like, I wouldn't. I mean, I could refrain from spanking her ass or giving her a kiss in front of the kids. I mean, like, I'm more respectable than that, I think.
No, absolutely, but it's still the thing is. It's just still a process. You can't just meet someone. Well, I mean, sometimes it does happen. I shouldn't say, but usually it is a process, especially when children are there at the home.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's not going to happen very often that you're talking to someone online just for a short period of time and they're just like, hey, Scotty, come on over. Yeah.
It's happened. It's happened quite a bit.
Yeah, I know. But
well, I mean, and then single moms are always
and
like...
And how's that worked out for you?
Not very good.
Exactly.
I mean, then again, I would like to date a mom because, I mean, I like them, and there's lots of them.
I like them.
And I mean, I still got a little bit of juice left in my loins, and I wouldn't mind having another kid.
Oh, really? That's something you've never shared with me before. Would you like to have another baby?
Yeah. You want to practice?
No.
Come on, Pam.
Never. That's
why
interesting.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, okay.
I would. I mean, now that every day that goes by, I get older, but I mean, like, I would like to have. I mean. I am new to Kelowna, and I'm not rushing into anything. I mean, I do date, but I mean, like, ideally, I would like to find somebody. I did date a lot of girls that were all older than me, that were 45, 46. There was like a landslide of divorcees here in Kelowna. And, but I mean, the more that I dated those girls that age, the more that I realized that they weren't easy to date. Actually, they're a lot harder to date because they're more stuck in their places. They're stuck. They got their routine, and they don't want fucking anybody coming in there to screw it up.
Yeah, I think age, honestly, though.
I thought they'd be a lot easier. Go ahead, Pam. Sorry.
No worries. But I just think age definitely is a number because you could have someone set in their ways at 30 as well.
I get
it, but the birthing.
But then, and at 45, they had a shitty fucking divorce, so they think every fucking guy is out to get them, and all that bullshit. They got baggage. Oh, they got poor me's, but you know, like we talked about it before. Like everybody's got fucking baggage.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah, and so like what?
We all got a story.
We all got a story, and it's no different than anything else. But I mean, okay, so we got some dating tips for single parents. Is be open about the fact that you are a parent. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that's just common sense. Yeah, be open, be honest. It's always better. Absolutely.
Never excuse, apologize, or defend yourself. About being a parent or saying like, sorry, I mean, I got stuff to do, or you got, well, I mean, I get it. And okay, it says, replace the word baggage with bonus.
Oh.
That sounds pretty interesting, eh?
Yeah, I like that.
We just stop calling it baggage and we say, oh, bonus is whatever. feel positive about wanting to date.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so, right?
And be ready. And be ready to date.
Don't rush